The recently completed Better Call Saul had some incredible cameos, and one of the best ones fans got to see was that of Walter White's brother-in-law, Hank Schrader. The D agent showed up in season 5's The Guy for This to interrogate Krazy 8. Though he wasn't made a regular character in the spin-off like most of his Breaking Bad counterparts, Hank remains one of the main cherished characters in the fictional universe. Among the things fans love the most about him are his remarks, a good number of which reflect his personality and mannerisms better. They're saying they want to be paid in private islands, so dig deep. ABQ, S2E13, after Walt finally agrees to undergo chemotherapy, Hank hits up his colleagues for donations. While at it, he makes a joke about how expensive Walt's doctors are. As one of the funniest Breaking Bad characters, Hank never hesitates to extract humor out of sad situations. As such, he is always able to relieve tension, and in the process, he endears himself further to family and friends. Joking about Walt's treatment on this occasion creates a good mood in the office and encourages his colleagues to dig deep into their pockets. "My name is Isaac Schrader. And you can go F yourself." Ozymandias, S5E14, in one of the best ever Breaking Bad episodes, Hank refuses to beg for mercy when Jack Welker's gang overwhelms him and Gomi. He then resigns himself to fate, urging Jack to go ahead and kill him. Hank has always been proud of his profession. As such, he thinks of criminals as the most despicable beings on earth. Despite the fact that he has a real chance of walking out alive if he begs, he chooses to state his full D title before cursing out at Jack. Sadly, that leads to him getting shot, a moment that stuns both Walter and the viewers. This job can be boring as hell. Until it's not. Crawlspace, S4E11, after long periods of little progress, Hank is thrilled when he discovers a connection between Gus and the laundromat. He then forces Walt to make a trip there with him. As a daredevil, Hank enjoys being on the field more than he does being in the office or at home. When he makes the discovery about the laundromat, he is still yet to recover fully from the attack by the cousins, but he still chooses to head out, braving all the risks that come with such a decision. And it doesn't long for him to put the puzzle pieces together. It's easy money till we catch you. Pilot, S1E1, during Walt's surprise birthday party, Hank explains to the revelers what his job entails. He admits that drug dealers always make easy money, but there's always one guarantee: he and his team will catch them. Hank's words highlight both his confidence and his disdain for lawbreakers. To him, catching criminals is always a matter of when and not if. The quote also serves as a form of foreshadowing. Walt, who is in the room, does end up getting the easy money, but also gets to witness his empire crumble. "'Cause I love you, you little bastard." And the bags in the RIVER, S1E3, Hanks takes Walter Jr. on a tour to a junkie hangout to show him just how miserable their lives are. The teenager wonders why his uncle is doing all that, and he explains it. Hank is a loving person. He and his wife, Marie, rarely have the kinds of arguments that Walt and Skyler do. Hank also happens to care about Walter Jr. even more than Walt, something that results in the teenager liking him more. As a D agent, he understands the effects of drugs better than anybody, and since he wants the best for Walter Jr., he takes him on the trip to ensure he never falls on the wrong path. A guy that clean has to be dirty. Bug, S4E9, Hank is disappointed when the GPS tracker he placed in Gus Fring's car doesn't pick up any suspicious movements. Nonetheless, he vows to find out exactly what the Los Palos Hermanos owner is up to. Hank is not only a curious person by nature, but he also has better investigative skills than most of the popular law enforcement officers in Breaking Bad. Through intuition and years of dealing with criminals who enjoy using fronts to mask their activities, he can tell that Gus Fring isn't the man he claims to be. And he's right. The only sad part is that he never gets to personally arrest the drug distributor. Where'd you get your law degree, Goodman? The same clown college you got that suit. Buyout, S5E6. Hank isn't impressed when Saul Goodman shows up to represent Mike and tries to act smart. He notices he is trying to use petty tricks to get him freed, so he tears into him. Among the things Hank is extremely good at is throwing shady burns. It's what he always resorts to whenever someone tries to outsmart him during a conversation. And this isn't the only time someone makes fun of the institution Goodman attended. In one of Chuck's best quotes in Better Call Saul, he does the same. I think the universe is trying to tell me something, and I'm finally ready to listen. 1 minute, S3E7, Hank becomes extremely remorseful after he assaults Jesse for tricking him into thinking Marie was in the hospital. He even tells Marie that he is ready to hang up his boots. Hank might be a badass cop, but he is a good person at heart. He is certain that Jesse is a criminal, but he feels bad about allowing his anger to cloud his judgment. The guilt makes him believe he is on a downward spiral, so he contemplates quitting the agency. Tagging trees is a lot better than chasing monsters. Gliding all over, S5E8, frustrated with how evasive Heisenberg is, Hank tells Walt a story of how he once had a job tagging trees so that lumberjacks would know which ones to cut. He then confesses that he now misses that job. As a competent D agent, Hank likes to win, so lack of progress in the hunt for Heisenberg makes him very frustrated. He obviously would never trade catching criminals for tagging trees, but he just wishes the current assignment would go much smoother. What he is unaware of is that Heisenberg is sitting right in front of him. You really want to burn him down? Let's do it together. Rabid Dog, S512, Hank isn't too surprised when he finds an enraged Jesse trying to burn Walter's house. Quickly, he comes up with a better idea to bring Walt down, and that's through Jesse's confessions and information. Hank is persuasive, a trait that's seen many times in the series. It's the major reason he makes such a good lawman. Even Marie once reminisces how persuasive Hank was while wooing her. Within a short time, he is able to convince Jesse that bringing Walt down through legal means will do much more harm than burning his house. As expected, Jesse buys into the idea